While the world debates politics, something massive is being built right under everyone's nose. The Trump administration has quietly greenlit billions in infrastructure projects that are reshaping America's landscape. Visitor centers rising from the desert, trailheads transforming forgotten highways, campgrounds engineered for the next generation. These projects are not making headlines, but they are making history. Here is what they do not want you to miss: the rise of the U.S. economy. The United States did not stumble into global economic leadership by accident. It clawed its way there through a relentless combination of ambition, innovation, and sheer scale. Today, the American economy stands as a colossus built on manufacturing, agriculture, finance, and above all else, technology. Silicon Valley alone has revolutionized how humans communicate, work, and travel. But what does any of this have to do with tourism? Everything. The same wealth that built Apple and Amazon also constructed thousands of miles of highways, hundreds of airports, and an infrastructure network that makes domestic travel remarkably accessible. Americans take billions of trips every single year. That is not a typo. Billions. Every one of those journeys puts money into hotels, restaurants, gas stations, souvenir shops, and local guides who depend on visitor spending to survive. Consider the numbers for just a moment. The travel sector generates trillions of dollars in economic activity annually. Tens of millions of international visitors arrive on American soil each year, seeking experiences they cannot find anywhere else on Earth. Yellowstone National Park, the neon glow of Las Vegas, the jazz clubs of New Orleans. The tech campuses of California have become tourist attractions in their own right. Technology does not just drive the economy anymore. It drives tourism directly. Booking a hotel room that once required a phone call and a credit card number now happens in 30 seconds on a smartphone app. Navigation systems guide travelers to hidden gems that no paper map could ever reveal. Space centers and tech museums have become pilgrimage sites for people who want to see where the future is being invented. The competition for tourist dollars has intensified dramatically in recent years. Small towns and mid-sized cities have discovered they can compete with major metropolitan areas by offering something the big cities cannot provide: authenticity, lower costs, and genuine local character. This shift is reshaping how America invests in tourism infrastructure from coast to coast. Sidling Hill Trailhead. Imagine driving along the Pennsylvania Turnpike on a cross-country journey when suddenly you notice something unexpected at a highway service plaza. Not just gas pumps and fast food, but an entire trailhead complex designed to transform a routine pit stop into an outdoor adventure. This is the Sidling Hill Service Plaza Trailhead, and it represents a completely new way of thinking about American transportation infrastructure. The Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission partnered with local municipalities and state recreation agencies to create something that had never existed before. Their goal was audacious: turn an ordinary highway rest stop into a gateway connecting millions of travelers with nature, history, and the surrounding communities. Years of planning culminated in a grand opening celebration that announced a new era for roadside tourism. Visitors arriving at Sidling Hill first encounter a 1.5-mile paved shared roadway suitable for pedestrians and cyclists alike. But this is merely the appetizer. That initial path branches into a network extending across an astonishing 600 miles of trails within a 25-mile radius. Hikers and bikers can explore terrain that was previously accessible only to those who knew where to look. The crown jewel of this network is the old PA Pike Trail stretching 13 miles along the original Pennsylvania Turnpike route. History buffs can walk through the legendary Sidling Hill and Rays Hill tunnels that carried travelers decades ago before modern highway engineering made them obsolete. These tunnels are not just relics. They are living museums of American engineering preserved for future generations. The economic implications are staggering. Outdoor activities contribute approximately $19 billion annually to Pennsylvania's economy alone. That figure supports roughly 168,000 jobs, ranging from trail maintenance crews to hospitality workers in nearby towns. The state recently announced over $10 million allocated specifically for trail projects as part of a broader $79 million investment across 307 local recreation initiatives. The trailhead features covered pavilions where families can escape sudden rainstorms. Picnic tables built by local schools and nonprofit organizations dot the landscape. Bike racks and a bike washing station ensure cyclists can maintain their equipment before continuing their journey. Every design element encourages travelers to stay longer, explore further, and spend money in surrounding communities. As the Pennsylvania Turnpike approaches its 85th anniversary, the Sidling Hill Trailhead proves that major highways can serve purposes beyond simply moving vehicles from point A to point B. They can protect natural resources, stimulate economic growth, and fundamentally transform how Americans experience the territory just beyond the exit ramps. Far to the south, another regional project shows how a single building can quietly reshape travel, identity, and local pride. Talladega Regional Visitors Center. When most people hear the word Talladega, they immediately think of NASCAR and the thundering roar of stock cars hurtling around the famous superspeedway. But local leaders have spent years working to change that perception. Their vision crystallized into reality with the grand opening of the Talladega Regional Visitors Center, housed in the beautifully restored historic Ritz Theater. Construction began on September 13, 2023, and reached completion in 2025. The center now operates from 116 Court Square East, placing it squarely within Talladega's historic downtown core. This location was chosen deliberately. Visitors exploring the center find themselves surrounded by the architecture and atmosphere of authentic small-town Alabama, rather than the sterile anonymity of a highway exit. The facility itself represents far more than a simple information desk. Digital displays featuring multiple 32-inch screens showcase the county's top 15 attractions through dynamic visuals and engaging content. Visitors can explore 50 different attractions across Talladega County and the greater East Alabama region, organized in a way that provides variety without creating confusion. Flexible spaces within the center accommodate presentations, guided tours, small events, and community gatherings. This dual-purpose design ensures the building serves both tourists and local residents, creating a genuine hub for regional engagement rather than just another government office that closes at 5. The economic strategy behind the center is sophisticated. Tourism dollars generated through increased visitation flow directly into hotels, restaurants, shops, and event venues throughout the county. Even modest increases in overnight stays produce significant impacts in smaller regional economies like Talladega County, where every visitor represents meaningful revenue for local hospitality and service businesses. The project emerged from a robust public-private partnership involving the Alabama Power Foundation, Talladega County Commission, Alabama Historic Preservation Commission, state officials, and education-focused grants. This coalition approach reflects growing recognition that tourism infrastructure requires broad community investment to succeed. By promoting history, cultural sites, and outdoor recreation alongside the famous Speedway, the Visitors Center encourages travelers to explore beyond a single event. This strategy spreads visitor spending across both the region and the calendar year, supporting a wider range of businesses while giving guests richer, more complete experiences. Racing brought people to Talladega. The Visitors Center will convince them to stay. Telluride Town Park Campground, nestled on the east end of Telluride, Colorado, between the San Miguel River and Bear Creek, lies a patch of ground that punches far above its weight class in terms of economic and cultural impact. The Town Park Campground serves as the only official overnight camping area within town limits, yet its influence extends throughout the entire mountain community and beyond. The campground's location represents near perfection for outdoor enthusiasts. Guests can walk to downtown Telluride within minutes, accessing world-class restaurants, boutique shops, and cultural venues without ever starting a car. The surrounding landscape offers everything from casual riverside strolls to challenging alpine adventures. What truly sets Town Park apart from ordinary campgrounds is its transformation during festival season. This humble collection of campsites becomes ground zero for legendary events, including the Bluegrass Festival and Blues and Brews celebrations that draw thousands of attendees from across the country and around the world. The economic mathematics are compelling. Festival goers do not simply attend concerts and leave. They extend their stays, exploring hiking trails, patronizing local shops, dining at restaurants, and immersing themselves in Telluride's unique mountain culture. Every extended stay multiplies the economic impact, rippling through businesses that depend on seasonal tourism to survive. The campground operates under a structured reservation system that opens in rolling windows each spring. This approach reflects intense demand that consistently overwhelms available capacity. Campsites routinely sell out within minutes of becoming available, a testament to Telluride's enduring reputation as a premier destination for travelers seeking authentic outdoor Pricing remains remarkably accessible given the location's prestige. Tent sites cost approximately $29.50 per night. Standard vehicle sites run around $41. Premium riverside locations reach $51.50 with discounts available for seniors. These modest fees provide access to spectacular mountain scenery and immediate proximity to downtown businesses. Town planners face an ongoing balancing act between campground preservation and broader park improvements. Every decision recognizes that this small patch of land serves dual purposes as both an economic driver generating significant revenue and a treasured community asset that residents cherish regardless of financial considerations. Bald Eagle State Park. Federal campground closures created a problem nobody expected. When government facilities at places like Racetown Lake shut their gates, campers did not simply abandon their outdoor recreation plans. They went searching for alternatives and found them in state parks that suddenly faced unprecedented demand. Bald Eagle State Park in Center County stepped up to meet this challenge in spectacular fashion. The new White Pine Loop campground represents Pennsylvania's response to modern camping reality. This 22-site facility offers full hookups, pet-friendly accommodations, and 50-amp electrical service, capable of supporting the larger trailers and recreational vehicles that dominate today's camping market. Older state parks were simply not designed for these newer, bigger rigs, leaving many campers frustrated and underserved. Construction began in 2024 and reached substantial completion in 2025, just in time for Memorial Day weekend and the unofficial start of summer camping season. The timing proved crucial as families across Pennsylvania scrambled to secure outdoor recreation opportunities following the federal closures. The numbers tell a remarkable story. Cindy Dunn, Secretary of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, reported a 55% increase in camping at Bald Eagle State Park. That figure dramatically exceeds the statewide average rise of 30% at Pennsylvania's other state parks. Something special is happening at Bald Eagle, and the new campground sits at the center of this transformation. The project cost approximately $1.9 million, funded entirely by the state, as part of a broader $120 million initiative launched in 2023 to improve infrastructure across Pennsylvania's parks and forests. This investment encompasses new campsites, upgraded utilities, modernized restroom and shower facilities, and enhanced accessibility features designed to welcome visitors regardless of physical limitations. Every camper who arrives at White Pine Loop brings economic activity to surrounding communities. They purchase food at local grocery stores. They fill their gas tanks at nearby stations. They dine at area restaurants and shop at retail establishments. This influx supports seasonal and year-round employment in hospitality and service sectors, proving that smart infrastructure investment generates returns far exceeding initial costs. Zion National Park. Zion National Park faces a problem most destinations would envy. Approximately 5 million visitors arrive every year seeking the dramatic red cliffs, narrow slot canyons, and stunning vistas that make this Utah treasure one of America's most beloved natural wonders. That figure has roughly doubled over the past decade and shows no signs of slowing. The challenge becomes obvious during peak season when the main canyon entrance transforms into a bottleneck of frustrated travelers waiting in lines that can stretch for hours. Park management needed a solution that would improve visitor experience while protecting the fragile natural resources that attract people in the first place. Construction is now underway on a new visitor and discovery center on the east side of Zion National Park. This facility will establish an alternative access point that distributes visitors more evenly across the park, reducing congestion at traditional entrances while opening new areas for exploration. The Discovery Center will feature educational spaces designed to connect visitors with Zion's natural and cultural history. Play areas will engage children who might otherwise grow restless during long car rides. A park store will generate revenue supporting ongoing conservation efforts and park operations. The land itself was donated, making this public benefit possible. Construction continues through 2026, with phased completion targeted for spring 2027. Every design element emphasizes visitor engagement and environmental stewardship, recognizing that Zion's spectacular landscapes must be protected for generations yet to come. Economic projections from the Chem C. Gardner Policy Institute quantify the anticipated impact. The expansion could support approximately 545 new jobs annually between 2020 and 2030, with 421 positions in Kane County and 94 in Washington County. Annual economic growth could reach roughly $30 million, with $20 million in additional visitor spending once the center becomes fully operational. The economic benefits extend far beyond the park boundaries. Hotels, restaurants, guided tour operations, and retail shops throughout Kane and Washington counties depend on Zion's visitors for their survival. By improving access and enhancing the visitor experience, the Eastside facility will generate ripple effects touching virtually every business in the region. Greene County Visitor Center. The journey from concept to ribbon cutting took nearly a decade, but on July 3rd, 2025, Greene County finally celebrated the grand opening of its new Great Northern Catskills Visitor Center. The facility's location at Exit 21 of the New York State Thruway in Catskill positions it as the first impression thousands of travelers will have when entering this mountain region. The path to completion began back in 2016, when county officials started acquiring underutilized property on both sides of the Thruway. Outdated structures were demolished, and the groundwork was laid for expanded tourism infrastructure that could serve the county for decades to come. The county invested over $2 million of its own funds through partnerships with entities like the Industrial Development Agency to construct and equip the facility. The building features expanded parking to accommodate tour buses and recreational vehicles. An atrium showcases local attractions through dynamic displays. Offices house tourism staff who can provide personalized recommendations to curious travelers. Estimates suggest the center will attract around 7,000 visitors annually, helping spread economic benefits into Greene County's smaller communities that might otherwise be overlooked by travelers speeding toward more famous destinations. Tourism already forms the backbone of Greene County's economy. In 2024, visitors spent an estimated $318 million locally supporting lodging, food, and beverage establishments, retail shops, transportation services, and entertainment venues. That spending contributed $17.5 million in county tax receipts and over $115 million in local employment income. Tourism director Patty Austin captured the stakes perfectly at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. "Tourism is not just part of our economy," she declared. "It is our economy." The visitor center stands as physical proof of the county's commitment to showcasing its natural beauty and cultural legacy for generations to come. Coachella Lakes RV Resort. When people hear the word Coachella, they think of massive music festivals, Instagram celebrities, and flower crowns. Few imagine luxury RV camping, but the Coachella Lakes RV Resort is working to change that perception one satisfied guest at a time. The resort's grand opening celebration in December 2023 marked the official community launch of a project that had been welcoming guests since September 2022. Local officials, hospitality leaders, and Chamber of Commerce representatives gathered for a ribbon-cutting event featuring music tours and community engagement that announced Coachella Lakes as a serious player in Southern California tourism. Phase 1 delivered 92 luxury RV sites and 8 vacation rentals, along with amenities that redefine expectations for RV camping. An 18-hole championship, putting course challenges golfers of all skill levels. A clubhouse features a pool and pickleball courts for active guests. A dog park welcomes 4-legged family members. Laundry facilities and a pro shop ensure guests have everything they need during their stay. Phase 2 added 250 additional RV sites and 7 more vacation rentals, expanding capacity to meet demand that exceeded initial projections. CRR Hospitality, which owns and manages the property, has made Coachella Lakes its third RV resort, signaling confidence in the growing market for upscale camping experiences. Location amplifies the resort's appeal. The property sits just off Interstate 10, providing easy access to Palm Springs, Joshua Tree National Park, and of course, the legendary Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. Visitors can enjoy desert relaxation and world-class entertainment without sacrificing comfort or convenience. The resort has pioneered community engagement strategies that keep guests returning year after year. Fishing contests bring out competitive spirits. Arts and crafts gatherings nurture creativity. Dog park socials help pet owners connect with fellow animal lovers. These events transform a temporary lodging choice into a genuine community experience. Recognition arrived in 2025 when the resort was featured on the television show Staycation Palm Springs Edition. The exposure introduced Coachella Lakes to viewers across the region who might never have considered RV-style vacations in the desert. Sometimes, the best marketing is simply showing people what they have been missing. What comes next? Across mountains, forests, and deserts, these destinations reveal the power of thoughtful tourism planning. Every trailhead connects isolated communities to economic opportunity. Every visitor center tells stories that might otherwise be forgotten. Every campground creates spaces where families build memories that last generations. The question now becomes, what happens next? Will other communities learn from these successes and invest in their own tourism futures? Will state and federal governments recognize the enormous returns generated by infrastructure spending in this sector? Will travelers discover that America's best experiences often wait in places they have never considered visiting? The projects described here prove that vision combined with investment can transform forgotten highway exits into destinations worth seeking out. They demonstrate that economic development and environmental stewardship can advance together rather than competing. Most importantly, they show that communities willing to welcome visitors with quality infrastructure will be rewarded with prosperity that benefits everyone. The building continues. Somewhere right now, planners are sketching designs for the next trailhead, the next visitor center, the next campground that will change a community's future forever. The only question is where you will choose to experience this transformation for yourself. Share your thoughts about these incredible projects in the comments below. Have you visited any of these destinations? Are similar developments happening in your community? The conversation about America's tourism future belongs to all of us.